Get a Job in Tech, episode 102. You may remember the previous two episodes. We started off with how to get started in tech. So I went over how to install VirtualBox, gave you some good resources for that, as well as installing the Windows Server 2019 or whatever the latest version is, as well as the Ubuntu or Ubuntu Linux box. Then followed by how to install Active Directory, how to get it set up, how to create users. And you may remember that I talked about having 10 folks, 10 individuals that you know, writing them down, write the names down. And I believe the website that I gave you was training.local for your website, for your domain controller. So on those two things, right? Now, obviously, you've just started doing these things, so you don't, maybe you don't have, it's only been 2 days, right, basically, since you started this thing. So no one expects you to learn all this stuff in 2 days. So I'll just say, if you've done it, everything so far, congratulations for one. That's amazing, right? That shows a lot of dedication. That really shows a lot of discipline and effort put forward by you to do that. So the next step, or the next iteration or step, if you will, so to build on what the knowledge you have already. So you have the how to get started in tech. So you learn the VirtualBox, Windows Server, how to install Windows Server, how to install Active Directory, how to install Active Directory, how to set up users, 10 users, how to set up a domain name, training.local. Next thing is to start off by formatting we're going to write a resume, right? So if you have these skills already, even if you don't really know them 100%, but you have some formidable skills, so you've already demonstrated how to install VirtualBox, how to install Windows Server, how to create users in Active Directory. That's enough right there, by the way, just to get you started with the job searching, by the way. So in your resume, so I'll wait. Go ahead and get a piece of paper, right? I'll wait for you. You got a piece of paper? Okay, good. All right. So this is how your resume to format, or this is how to write your resume, even if you're from another country. But keep that in mind. When I say another country, I mean other than the United States. So I'll get that in a minute. So you have the piece of paper. Okay. What you want to write is you want to write at the top. You want to write your name. You want to write your email address and your phone number. If you don't have a phone number, like a stateside number, you can get a Google Talk number. They're usually free. Followed by, right below that, I want you to put the word objective. After the word objective, I want you to put, to obtain gainful employment as a junior, so JR, junior, or JUNIOR, help desk technician. Not engineer, just technician. I want you to put that. So your objective is to gain employment as a junior help desk technician. That's it, period. The next, after that, I want you to put another bullet point. I want you to put education and training. Write that down. Education and training. Now, I want you to put an education training underneath that. I want you to put this. I want you to put installed and managed Windows Server 2019. Okay? Period. Next line. Installed, set up and managed Windows Active Directory environment. Period. Next column. Installed and managed virtual environment. Doesn't have to be known that it's VirtualBox. Just get you in the door. Don't put VirtualBox because you want them to think it's VMware. because VMware is a big topic nowadays. So you want them to just believe that it's VMware, even though you're not telling them it's not. You're just not announcing it, okay? I want you to put attended customer service training. Customer service training could be anything. It could be this right now. So right now, we're attending support. I'm giving you some advice on how to write your resume, how to be proactive with the customer, how to talk with the customer, how to write your resume. That could be a form of customer support. Okay, that's it. That's all you need to put right there. So this other part's on you. I want you to put your current skills that you have, whatever you work at. It doesn't matter where you work at. I want you to put what skills you have now. So if you work at Walmart, if you're a sales individual, it doesn't matter, right? I want you to go to Google and just type in your whatever job function you have now, type that, and get 4 to 5 sentences basically, and put in there whatever that says. Put it in there. Maybe create 1 or 2 on your own. You know what you do at work. I don't know what you do at work, so just put that in. Now, below that, you want to put college. So education training is different than college. Underneath that, if you have college, if you went to college, or if you're attending college, I want you to put that down there, right? And that's it. So that's all you need right there. Now, for individuals who are not in the United States, a resume is different than a CV. CV, you have a picture and you have your nationality, you might have your passport number, you might have your marital status. In the US, we don't do that. So we just have the name, phone number, email address, and then objective, training, and education training, and then your different jobs that you have, followed by like college or certifications if you have any of those. And that's it. Done. That's all you need. So let's talk a little bit about your when you go out and you get a job, or when you go and you get a you're finding a job now, right? So I want you to go now, Indeed or Google or Monster or ZipRecruiter, one of those sites. And I want you to type in, doesn't matter where location, I want you to type in help desk technician, just the word help desk. That's it. Help desk. And I want you to look through help desk jobs that have the keyword Windows in them, right? Doesn't matter what it is. It has to include the word Windows in the job, help desk. And I want you to apply those jobs. It doesn't matter if you don't know whatever the job is. It doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. Your objective in doing this is you want to get to the point where they call you back. You want to have that conversation. You want to go on the interview. That's really what you're after here. Of course, you're also after a job. Primarily, you're after experience. What do I need to know to get a job? And if you're just new to IT, you probably have, you need some confidence building, if you will, right? So how do you get confidence building? You could talk to your friend who's in IT and I can give you pointers, but there's nothing like actually interviewing and palms are sweating and you're nervous. There's nothing like interviewing with the actual company that you're really going to get a job. So think of that as a training tool. You want to go on as many interviews as possible to train. So here's the other thing, writing a cover letter. Now I'm going to talk mostly to people who are overseas now, right? Not American. Okay. So when you talk to recruiters, you don't want to put the word help. You don't want to put the word help me get a job. Help me this, help me that. That's really not the idea to do. That's not really the idea that you want to do. Because it's not their problem you don't have a job. Okay? Think of that. And you saying help me get a job, help me get a job. Well, what that tells them is maybe you're not assertive. Maybe you're not go-getter. You know, why do I want to hire this person if they're, needy, right? That's what it was, needy. I don't want to hire a needy person, a clingy person, basically. I want to hire someone who can do work on their own. Doesn't have to be told all the time. Now, obviously, you may think that saying help is fine, but I know that translate that, what it means in some folks is, oh, yeah, this person is they're gonna, they don't know. Oh, okay, they need too much help, right? You gotta imagine the recruiters that are getting your resume, they don't want to do work. Okay, like everybody else, they don't want to do work. So when they get your email or your resume, let's say your email, you emailed them, right? And you say, help me please get a job. Why? It's not my problem you don't have a job. That's what they're thinking, right? They don't they don't want to, it's not their job to help you get a job. Okay. It's your job as a person getting who's applying the job to have the skills needed for that job. Okay. So that having said that, you want to view it this way. You want to say things like, for instance, if you're talking about a state, Texas, let's say Texas, right? You're talking about Dallas, right? Okay. And you want a job in Dallas. And the company is there, and you've emailed them a couple of times, right? And they know now that you're not American, let's just say, right? And you want to make it as if you have a tie to Texas, to Dallas. So whatever you can do, maybe you have a cousin. You don't necessarily want to say a friend. When you're talking to the recruiter on the phone, you don't want to say, oh, I have a friend who lives there. You want to try to say relative, uncle, cousin, nephew, brother, sister, okay? You also want to do your homework on what's the location. So you can easily go to Google and figure that out. You can go to Google and kind of just like, okay, the location is here. It's in Dallas. It's in Parkway, whatever that city, or Plano Parkway, I think is the street there, or highway. Anyway, you want to just figure that out on your own. Really do your homework on the location of where they're at. Secondly, you want to have your resume looking looking polished. Not too much, not 5 or 6 different resumes and your GPA and whatnot. You can make note that the more you have in your resume, the more accolades, the more you're talking about. You have all these things. See, I have 3.0 or 4.0, wherever it is, GPA, magna cum laude, and all this other stuff. The recruiter is going to say, oh, okay, I'm going to pick apart your resume a little bit, right? Maybe he or she won't. But it'll be the IT operations manager, because that's what we're after. We're after IT job. So you want to give them you want to have those stories, right? So interviewing is mostly about a story. You're trying to create a story. You're trying to tell them a story. And the reason I mentioned to install VirtualBox and Windows and install Active Directory, because there's nothing better than actually doing it. Training can teach you how to do it, but doing it is no substitute for actually doing it. So you want to have those stories. So when the IT operations manager talks to you and troubleshoots a little bit, right? Oh, tell me about installing. Tell me about what you do with Active Directory, right? And you could say, well, I set up these accounts, and just by you doing it, of course, maybe you did something. You didn't do it right. Who knows? Maybe you made a mistake, or you had to go back and say, oh, I did that. So that's a story that you want to tell the recruiter or the operations manager. It's a story, because it says to them, okay, they're proactive. They know how to solve their own problem. They work through the problem, basically, right? So we've gone through setting up VirtualBox. We've gone through Windows Server. We've gone through how to install Active Directory and set up accounts. Now we've gone to, or this episode, right, is what we've now completed how to create your resume. Okay, how to create your resume and go find a job. So I'd like to thank everybody for listening to this podcast and have a great day.